to a product that was promised to give me energy and better sleep. And it also would help you lose weight. And Ryan was in for that. And that I say by accident because we weren't even looking into the business, right? We just needed a change in our life. We needed a solution to our problem at the time. And we quickly had success with that product. And we immediately said, we need to share this with our friends. We shared it on Facebook. If you guys know me, I see Patty on here. I see Miss Sherry. I know Dr. J. You guys know I run my business solely on social media. I have some face-to-face interaction, but our success has come from social media. And so whenever Ryan and I started our journey into network marketing, we just began to share, hey, we're getting ready to start this. We're going to get skinny. I'm going to have some energy, all of these things. And that was kind of our first post to the world that we were doing something out of the norm. And it immediately got attention, right? Like Ryan's very first post was him dumping a can of his beloved Dr. Pepper. Y'all, he has not had Dr. Pepper in 8 years almost. And people are like, what are you doing? Right? They're immediately interested because they knew how much he loved his Dr. Pepper. Me, all the people on my Facebook, they're all moms, all stay-at-home moms, just moms in general, right? If look at my Facebook page, it is 95% women, and majority of them are mamas or wives. And so they immediately were like, I need energy. I need this, right? And so Ryan and I both had something that others needed in their life. And so it just kind of like those first couple of posts took off. And then the next thing we knew, we found ourselves flying for the very first time for me, flying on a plane 10 hours to Maui. Right. And that was an unreal experience. It was, what started as, okay, I need this, this, and this in my life. And then whenever we discovered the business side, I don't know if you guys know Ryan's before Vitify. He has been a teacher and a coach our entire marriage, except for these last 3 years. So I don't know if you guys know much about the teaching salary, but you don't get paid much for the amount of hours that you work. So he was a teacher and a coach for 15 of the 18 years of our marriage. And we lived paycheck to paycheck. And we had to say no a lot. We had never really been on a vacation. We had never been able to do anything outside of necessities for our children. And so starting in this industry, I'm like, if we can just make $500, I won't have to worry about groceries, right? Do you guys know that $500 a month, I'm sure it's a little bit more now, but $500 a month is life-changing for a lot of people. And that was our life-changing goal. And we quickly realized that was probably a really small goal to have once we reached that. But we reached that in the first, month. And it was something that we had prayed for, and it just was mind-blowing that it was actually possible when we really weren't doing much other than sharing a product, right? It was just that simple. I think so many people get into this, what's called analysis paralysis, that you think you have to, do everything by the book. And I know that Patrick and I have talked, and Stephen and I have had conversations about how they do business and how I do business. And it's 3 completely different styles, and there's no wrong way to do business. It's just doing what is best for you. And so what was best for us was just being completely transparent and inviting people into our lives, onto our journey. And that follows through into Vitify, right? Like I knew the power. By the time Vitify came into our life, I knew the power of social selling. I knew the power that using social media as my business platform had. I knew that, we live in a small town. I knew that face to face here, I could have a fairly successful business. We have quite a few customers in our small little town here. But the amount of people that I can reach from a social media platform is mind-blowing, right? And so a little over 2 years ago, whenever this product, when our drops were introduced to me, some of you know my story. It's going to be 5 years that I have in June that I've lived without a thyroid. So because of my journey on Facebook that I have shared with everyone knew that I had shingles. I had my thyroid removed. And so they had kind of I've brought everybody along on my health journey, right? That is something that I'm passionate about, is sharing with others and helping others. I shared in Vegas last year that one of the things that I'm so transparent on Facebook about, or one of the reasons I'm so transparent, is because I've been in a place where I felt like I was completely alone in my struggle. And I knew that if I shared my story on social media, that somebody out there has got to identify with what I'm going through. And so that's why I'm very, very open with my journey. And that's how I run my business, is that when I share, I'm able to connect with people on a deeper level, right? Like, I like to make people laugh. I like to inspire people, but I want to absolutely change somebody's life with what I have at my disposal. And so when my world got turned upside down almost 5 years ago, and I hit rock bottom in my health. And for 2.5 years after having my thyroid removed, I was a zombie of myself. And I shared that, and I had people that reached out and were trying to give me I had people sending me products and supplements from all over the world because they knew Kyli before 2019. And, Kyli at 2021 was, I was a shell. I was nothing like what I was before. And so in 2021, when a complete stranger that we met on Facebook connected with Ryan, and he began to get to know Ryan, right? This is key in our business. He began to get to know him. He heard my story, our journey, our health journey. And he said, I've got something that she has to try. And me being sent hundreds of dollars of supplements over the last, 2.5 years at this point, I was like, I was very flippant about it. Like, oh, it's just another one of these things. Like, it can't, I've tried everything, right? I'm a researcher, and I'll give everything a good hard try, right? And I will not back anything unless I fully believe in it, right? And my customers know that. My business partners know that if Kyli believes in something, then it's legit, because I will try it, I will test it out, I will research it, and I will make sure that it is something that I can get behind, right? My reputation, my name on a product is extremely important. And so whenever I was sent 4 bottles, I was like, okay, I'll try this. Y'all, I made a stinking mess. They told me to put it under my tongue. And yes, I see this sweet little lady just dying laughing. Miss Jean or Jeannie, yes, I put it under my tongue. It was running down my face because I was laughing. And I said, there is no way that this guy is running a business with this product. He is crazy. Ryan thought it was the funniest thing. I closed that back up. I went and washed my face, and I tried to clean my teeth, and I put it back in my cabinet for 4 months. In that 4-month window, I'm going to try not to cry here, but in that 4-month window, my body began to shut down. And I was taking 2 to 3 hour naps every single day, y'all. I'm a stay-at-home mom. My babies and my husband, they need me on my A game. They deserve the best version of me. And I could not physically, emotionally, or mentally give it to them. And so in July of 2021, I said, I opened the cabinet, and it was, if the Lord was like, it's time that you do this. And I grabbed that bottle and I told Ryan, I said, I will give this 30 days. 30 days. And it was more out of spite because that guy had said, has she tried the drops? He saw me just declining and nothing was working. And so I did. I tried the drops. Within the first 10 days, I hadn't had my taste or smell for 7 months. You guys fill in the blanks on that. I hadn't had my taste or smell. After day 5, I got my taste and smell back. And I was like, oh, big deal, like, oh, that's cool. And I was still pretty flippant about it. Day 10, I told you guys I had shingles. If you've seen my post in Disruptive Wellness, I had shingles in my ear, on my face, on my lip, on my tongue, and running down the back of my throat. And so for 2.5 years, I lived with the residual nerve pain from that. And on day 10 of using the drops, my face began to tingle. And I was like, there's something happening here. By day 30, I was sitting by our middle daughter on the couch, and she said, Mama, when was the last time you've taken a nap? And it hit me. For the first 30 days, or, the first time in years, I hadn't needed a nap. And then I began to think, I've been sleeping great. Like, I feel good. I don't feel like a 90-year-old lady getting out of bed. Like, this is amazing. And it was at that 30-day mark, I said, I have to tell everyone about this. Through my journey, I have people in my I have Hashimoto's as well. I have people who are in the autoimmune community. I have people who have no thyroid. I have moms. I have former athletes in my Facebook, on my social media platforms that struggle with so many things. And the root of every issue is inflammation. And this little bottle, I usually have one right here with me. This little bottle has the power to help every single one of those issues. Like, I told Ryan, I said, I have to tell the world. And it was at that point that I contacted our dealer from Mexico. And I said, tell me about this business. I need to know. And it took me 3 times asking him. And he finally, on the 3rd day, he said, okay, I will tell you about the business. Y'all, everything was in Spanish. I speak un poquito of Spanish. We've physically had to use a piece of paper. We had to go to Ryan's mom's office and print out a sheet of paper and fill it out and fax it back to our friend in Mexico to sign up for Vitify, to become a business owner in Vitify. That is how passionate I was, and I still am, about getting this product out to the world. For the first year, we'll backtrack. As soon as we signed up Ryan's mom. She's always our guinea pig for being a customer. She's always our first customer. And she was the very first person to use the online platform that Vitify had at the time. Like, whenever we started, everybody did face-to-face, and each entrepreneur would sign up people themselves, or they just had tons of bottles at their house. And so for the first year, we worked so hard at providing all of the tools that you guys have at your disposal. Shane and Laura have been great. Stephen and Dr. J, they've been there from the very beginning. And we have just been able to, I mean, there's still a lot that we need to work on, right? But we have been able to just completely change what we have here. And it all started with our drops literally giving me my life back. And it all started with 10 drops, right? I say we started saying changing lives 10 drops at a time, because that's what it took for me. And that's what I'm passionate about. And that's what I share. I know that I haven't done much training, but I need you guys to feel my passion and my drive for this. But also, me sharing my story, that's all I do. That's all I do. That's simply my business model. Is whenever we got into this industry, the thing that our mentor at the time said, and she's still one of our mentors, but she said, it's so simple. You're making it so difficult. You think that there's a certain formula that you have to follow. She said, she told Ryan and I, she set us down and she said, you guys have something special. And it's that you care. You care about changing lives. You're passionate about helping others. That is special. She said, all you need is a good product to help people, right? You're going to love them. You're going to help them in praying for them or encouraging them, all of that. But the business side is you just need a good product that helps them with their issues, right? That is the resource to the very thing that they're looking to change their lives, right? Here at Vitify, we have an amazing product and we have an amazing business model. I don't know a better comp plan out there, y'all. And like I said, we've been in this industry for 8 years. We were in 2 previous companies. Both companies, we hit top rank. And it had nothing to do with us being great builders or leaders. We just got really great at sharing stories, sharing our story, sharing the stories of others. But we also had a great product and a great business model to back it up. So you guys really have the best of both worlds. And if you don't have a story yet, hold on, right? Let your first 30 days, I know Dr. Gabet has always said 90 days, right? If you don't feel something in your first 30 days, give it a good 90 days before you decide, because everybody is different. Everybody's level of inflammation is different. And we just want you to give a good hard try. That's why we don't have samples, because you can't get a first dose, experience with our product. I know that a lot have asked for that, but you got to give it a full 30 days like I did, right? And you just never know. So if I can just leave you with this, get good at sharing stories. Let your